Man won $500 bid for auction storage unit. Found this. In 2010, A&E debuted the storage auction reality show Storage Wars. Although the program really thrust storage auctions into the spotlight, they've actually been occurring for quite some time, and they take place every day all over the United States and Canada. Many people spend their weekends going from storage unit to storage unit in search of the best deals and the biggest profits. Sometimes those profits are huge. In November of 2018, a man named Joe showed up to his first auction, where he'd be bidding with around 20 other people. The lockers that were there to view were designed to hold the contents of a one-bedroom apartment. Bidders were expecting a lot of furniture and small tchotchkes. The odd lucky locker would reveal a mountain bike or a nice TV, but nothing of extreme value. As the day went on, Joe gradually got more comfortable with the bidding process, and he started bidding higher and higher until finally he placed the winning $500 bid on one particular locker. Filled with the adrenaline of uncertainty, Joe took possession of the 5x15 unit and began parsing out the contents, estimating the value of each piece as he painstakingly unloaded it. Knowing that he'd taken a huge gamble, his hopes were starting to crumble in front of him as he unloaded a bunch of furniture that he knew he'd never return a profit. But as Joe went to move a dresser, he noticed a small gray container next to it. He immediately recognized it as a safe, and where there's a safe, there should be valuables. The safe required a key, something that he hadn't found and was pretty sure he wouldn't. So he called up some friends who brought a drill to the facility, and they were able to remove the lid. But nothing had prepared them for what was inside. As they removed the lid, they were greeted by countless $50 bills. Joe literally fell over after seeing the contents, and soon he was pulling out bundles of money. Overcome with excitement, he messaged his girlfriend and posted pictures on social media. But then the hard work of counting it began. After a couple hours and probably a number of phone calls to friends and family, they'd counted $1 million. They weren't even done. But that's when Joe got a knock at the door. When he opened it, he was greeted by two police officers who had more than a few questions about his recent social media posts. Then he realized that the money could be from anything: a lottery winner, a bank robber. Until police could investigate, it was all up for grabs. Was his windfall destined for an evidence locker? Would he wind up with nothing but some pictures and furniture? We'll tell you about what happened next in just a minute. But first, why not subscribe to Did You Know? And hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. Also, take a moment to leave us a like. Unfortunately, just 2 hours after finding over $1 million in a storage locker that he purchased for a mere $500, the police had taken control of the locker, and his investment had become the scene of an investigation. Soon they'd turned up $7.5 million in various safes hidden throughout the unit. But the police weren't the only ones interested in Joe's recent acquisition. The original owner had contacted his lawyers and was working to reclaim his money. Joe was contacted by a lawyer who demanded the money back and offered him $600,000 as a finder's fee. But unfortunately for the original owner and his lawyer, that isn't how California law works. And since he'd purchased the locker, Joe was entitled to keep the full $7.5 million. Realizing that Joe might be willing to fight back, the man's lawyer countered with a new $1.2 million finder's fee. Joe wasn't typically a man of confrontation, and the longer he took to make his decision, the more threats he began to receive. Not wanting to tangle with the type of person who would lose $7.5 million and forget about it, he agreed to split the money down the middle, and his offer was accepted. Would you have split the money or kept every cent? Let us know in the comments below.